So, you've got one day in Barcelona, and you're stepping off a cruise ship. This isn't just a vacation day, it's a mission. The challenge? Making the absolute most of your time in one of the busiest, most incredible cruise ports on the planet. And we're going to give you the insider's guide to doing just that.
Wow, that sounds a little intense, doesn't it? But here's the thing, it's not about being unfriendly. It's about a mind-blowing level of efficiency. This port is a beast, a perfectly engineered machine built to process a tidal wave of people with unbelievable speed. You have to understand how to work with it, or you'll just get swept along.
And this is the number that fuels that machine. 3.6 million passengers every single year. You can see why just showing up without a plan is a recipe for getting lost in the crowd. To really win the day, you've got to know how this whole operation works from the inside out.
Now, the very first thing that's going to shape your entire day in Barcelona is something you have basically zero control over: which terminal your ship pulls into. Seriously, it's like a lottery, and winning or losing drastically changes your game plan right from the start.
Okay, so these are the two realities you could be facing. On one side, you've got the Montjuïc Adusset Pier. Think of it as the industrial zone. It's where most of the big ships dock, and it's a couple of miles from anything you actually want to see. Then you've got the World Trade Center, or WTC Pier. That, my friends, is the jackpot. You're practically in the city already. Finding out which one is yours is the first, most critical piece of information you need.
So let's say you landed at Mol Adusat, which again is the most likely scenario. Your first decision of the day is also your most important one. This isn't just about picking a ride. It's about strategically buying back precious hours. Think of this as your escape plan.
Let's break down your choices, because it's a real trade-off. The T3 port bus is the go-to budget option. But, and this is a big but, it's cash only and it gets packed. Taxis look like a great idea, but in peak season you could easily waste half an hour just standing in the queue. A private transfer? It costs more for sure, but there's no waiting, you just go. And walk-in? For Mol Adusat, just forget it. It's not a scenic stroll, it's a trek. This decision really comes down to what you value more, your time or your money.
Okay, listen up, because this tip could literally save your entire trip. When you're heading back, you have to tell your taxi driver, cruise terminal. Why? Because Barcelona's airport also has terminals A, B, and C. It is a heartbreakingly common mistake, and people end up in a frantic, expensive cab ride from the wrong side of the city watching their ship sail away. Be crystal clear.
All right, you've navigated the port, you've made it into the city. Now for the fun part, the reward. With just a few hours, you can't see it all, and if you try, you'll end up seeing nothing properly. The secret is to be smart and focused.
This is such a great way to think about your day. If you've only got a short window, say 3 hours, just dive into the Gothic Quarter and get lost in those amazing ancient streets. Got around 6 hours? Perfect. Pick one and only one major landmark, like the Sagrada Familia. Don't get greedy. If you got the whole day, then you can start thinking about combining two big things. This approach keeps you from just running around stressed out.
And we have to talk about Gaudí, because this is where so many ambitious plans just completely fall apart. So can you visit both the Sagrada Familia and Park Güell in one day? I mean, technically yes, but you will be in a flat-out sprint against the clock. Here's the reality check. You have to book timed entry tickets weeks ahead of time. The truly smart move? Pick one. Just one. And give it the time and attention it deserves. You'll actually enjoy it that way.
You know, everything we've been talking about, the logistics, the crowds, the strategy, it's all happening inside a much bigger story. The Port of Barcelona is going through a huge transformation, and understanding the why behind it all gives you a whole new perspective on your experience there.
And this is the why. Over €1 billion. That's the economic impact of the cruise industry on Barcelona every year. That is a massive engine for the city's economy. So while you hear a lot about the challenges of overtourism, this number explains why the city is investing so much in the port's future, not walking away from it.
Of course, it's not that simple. This quote really gets to the heart of the debate in Barcelona. Sure, an overnight tourist who stays in a hotel might spend more money per person, but when you have 3.6 million people showing up even for a day, the total economic impact is just too massive to replace easily. That's the fundamental tension the city is always working to balance.
So how are they trying to solve this puzzle? Well, instead of just growing forever, Barcelona is actually choosing to reduce its daily cruise passenger numbers. It's a really bold strategy. Basically a shift from focusing on sheer quantity to improving the quality of the experience. For you as a visitor, this could mean better managed crowds and less congestion down the road.
And the changes aren't just about crowd control. They're about the environment, too. Barcelona is a pioneer in something called shore power. What is that? Well, it's pretty simple. It allows these massive ships to turn off their diesel engines and plug right into the city's electrical grid while they're docked. This completely eliminates their emissions in the port, which is a huge deal for local air quality. It's a real, tangible investment in a cleaner city.
So there you have it. From winning the terminal lottery and planning your escape, to building a smart itinerary and understanding the massive forces reshaping the port itself, you now have the insider's playbook. You get how the machine works. The only question left is, how are you going to use that knowledge to make your one day in this amazing city count?